Everyone. Before we get into this morning's live, and my son's off school today, so I don't have to worry about the back and forth. So I decided to not come on right at 7 a.m. because I seen a massive pennant flag that looked like it could be forming, and it really looks like a pennant flag has formed possibly here. And if that's the case, this would be a massively bullish consolidation. I get a lot of people I see in the comments that say, well, it proves that technical analysis doesn't work because the dragon pattern did not play out. It actually played out to the first tier of 272, but if you remember 2 days ago, despite we were talking about the dragon pattern, I came on, and we don't have to argue it. We don't have to. I came on and said XRP. Where was this at? It was just 2 days ago. 3 days ago, the shorts got annihilated, and then right here. 2 days ago, XRP XDC hit critical levels, will support holders, a 27% drop coming. And that's what we talked about. And I was openly bearish on Tuesday or Wednesday, well, 2 days ago. Not because I thought we were overtly bearish, but in the short term, we were bearish. And now we form what looks like a massively bullish formation if this holds, like massively bullish. And I didn't say, oh, 27% drop because I wanted it to happen. It lined up with the 200-day. XRP got rejected out of the dragon pattern at $2.72. That was bearish. And then when it broke the uptrend, it confirmed what we were talking about. Like if you look from the top, I'm not trying to make noise here. We dropped from the top of that rejection 27.48%. Tuesday, December 17th. I remember when that happened on my birthday. And unfortunately, we had to talk about the possibility of a 27% drop. That doesn't mean we go full-on bearish. It doesn't even mean that this pattern was invalidated. If you look at it as a whole, and you look at the resistance here, you can even look at it here. It's trying to fight back up for a resistance pull right now. But let's forget that. Let's forget this and open the pattern up, right? Because right here, we're just speculating. We don't have to speculate anymore. And this is the beauty of it. And I've already opened it up on another chart. But let's do this together in real time. You see what happens when you let the technical analysis play out. Now, yes, it's on the backside of a very, very crucial uptrending resistance. But right now, we actually have some optics here. We can see where it got rejected. Actually, that's too high. We can see where it got rejected right here. And then when it broke the uptrend, it just validated the drop down. That's all it did. It came down to $1.95 again. And it's pulled back pretty hard here already. So we'll see if this is a facade because the volume is not where I would like it to be. Or if this is the start of something bigger, at the very least, coming back up and getting that rejection. Remember yesterday when we talked, I said even if it comes down to $1.95, $1.85, $1.80, we'll still get that bounce back. We're going to have the chance to sell at 230, 240, 250 if it's bearish. And right now, you have the chance. It's back up to $2.22. Like it's been a, let's just say you had 10,000 tokens and you got nervous overnight and you sold for 19,500. You'd be waking up this morning saying, Jesus Christ, I just cost myself $3,000. You know, and like, that's the importance of being in spot over leverage. $13 billion was liquidated by Bitcoin going down to 92,000. It was insane. Insane. If we just look at the Bitcoin liquidation on certain, it's absolutely insane what happened here. And I've been preaching the problem with leverage the last several weeks now, saying I'm not for it. I can't even let people copy trade me anymore because it's just, from that perspective, it's brutal. Look at these exchanges. Look at these exchanges yesterday. Like literally, look at what happened. And this is just on Binance, OKX, Bybit, HTX, BitMEX, CoinEx, and BitFinex. A very small amount of the exchanges out there. And just on these exchanges, just on this, we'll just look at the, not the day before, but that's 780 million just right there. Like if we went through an overall Bitcoin liquidation map, it would make your head jump off the screen. There was so much liquidation that happened. It's insane. But remember, just like we talked yesterday, with all bearish outlooks, and now the overtone is the market's done, we've topped, this is what we want to see. Now it's changed from it's a guarantee to buy crypto and it's going to go up to you're an idiot to buy it now. It's too high, it's topped, it's about to reverse and fall flat. That's what we're hearing now. That change in 48 hours is exactly what I live for. I'm more bullish today than I've been in the last 4 days. Which is crazy to say because some people say, hey, Tom, you realize we just dropped off by 25%. Yeah, no, I do realize that. I do realize that. But I also realize the pattern that's set up. And right now, I'm not worried at it. At the least, the only thing I'm worried about is the fact, do I need to buy B2 gold right now? But it still seems a little early with the dot cross in the day. We'll go over that later. But like, you're starting to see a massive capitulation of short liquidations that are going to pile up here as the days go on. I'm telling you, the fact we've got 339 million at 108,000, 342, 350. Look at all this. Guys, I'm telling you, if this comes up to 108,500, you're going to get massive liquidation. I mean, if you think massive before, this is going to continue to grow. This is going to continue to grow. It liquidated all these people, every single one of them. Up, down, left, and right. You couldn't avoid it. So, big stuff happened in the last 24 hours. It might not seem like it, but when I woke up and seen this pennant flag, I said, holy shit. Holy moly. If this, again, you always have to play the what if game, because if it's bearish and it breaks down, that's a big drop, but we've already got it mapped out. Like, this chart is already mapped out the way it's going to go if this breaks down. If that breaks down, there's no hope of holding $1.85. Oh, no. You know, you wouldn't have any hope. I don't even think you would hold that $1.58 level that everybody's talking about. Like, why would it fail if this is a pennant flag now, which it looks like? Why would it fail this and not come back down? No, look at the big drop. If this fails, so you could either say massive pennant flag forms on XRP like I did, or you could say emergency alert. If XRP breaks the pennant flag, we're dropping 50% back down to the FVG gap around 91, 92 cents. And in this case, it's 99 cents. You could take that route, but I'm not taking that route. We're still on top of the 200-day. We're still formed what looks like a massive pennant flag now after it played out. A pennant flag is defined by, on a breakout, when you have a bullish scenario that you broke out bullish, a pennant flag is described by lower highs and higher lows simultaneously. Well, because of that drop we had yesterday, higher high, higher high. I mean, lower high. We have a high, lower high, high, higher. Son of a bitch. I'm so excited. I'm misspeaking. We have a high and a lower high, a low and a higher low. That is not a bearish consolidation. Those are typically bullish consolidations. And it sucks because some people will sit here and say, Tom, tactical analysis, you know, it's not worth it. It ain't telling us shit. Dropped 34% from the top. But 2 days ago, I said, you know, the 27% drop. I wasn't making it up. I didn't say I was feeling overtly bearish for the last, you know, on that morning for no reason. And yeah, I know these scenarios can play out, but I also know if it sets up a bullish consolidation, I'm not gonna invite the bear before the time comes. You know, I'm not gonna invite the mercenary to knock me out and to off me before it's time. I'm not gonna cut my leg off before it's fully you know what I mean? Before it loses functionality. Unless I know we're about to die, I gotta cut it off at the kneecap. You know, right now to cut XRP off at the kneecap, you'd have to wait for it to break $1.93. Nope. I would say to be safe, like I said before, $1.88. If it breaks that and shows rejection, well, you know, it was a fun ride. The technical target would suggest we'd come all the way down here on a breakdown. But if you want to talk about the glorious and what could actually play out if this is a pennant flag, we go to all-time highs, you know. So there's two completely different scenarios if you want to look at it. But if you want to look at it for what it is, you can't look at it as bearish. Yeah, yes, you can start to think bearish because we broke the uptrend of this cycle rally. But on breaking the uptrend upon that, we created what looks like could be a pennant flag. But we have not been always, pennant flags don't play out every single time. But I mean, that's what it looks like it formed. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. I could be wrong, you know. Maybe this is just hopium. Maybe this is just BS. Maybe this is whatever. Tom, government millionaire buying HBAR. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know the government's buying HBAR. XRP is, HBAR is going to be massive. It's just like XRP for 2 years when the government needed to buy and it was stuck at 50 cents. Why do you think HBAR was at 4, 5, 7, 10? And HBAR actually ran up to 40. It hit an all-time high, at least in the... Well, I think it did it, Brett. But look at the pattern consolidation. Even where I was looking at this resistance, the back test, this doesn't... Nothing about this is making me scared. Like, even if I look at it like this... You know what? No, I'm going to keep it like this because, look, you can see if the back test comes or not. And then if it breaks back in, I think we had a massively overstated sell-off here, possibly. Ronald said, bought HBAR at a nickel on your TA. Thanks. Oh, excellent. That's exactly where I bought it. I bought it at 4.8 cents, and I could not be happier. And yeah, I didn't sell it at 40 because I don't believe this is where I want it to end. There was massive opportunities overnight. Massive opportunities if you were awake. You know, and that doesn't mean that everything's back to where it was before the drop point, but there was a time when I seen Ethereum Classic down 9% last night. There was a time when I seen AMP down 14% last night. You know, I seen VELO down 15%. There was a time when I seen a lot of this stuff much farther. You know which one's holding up almost the best out of them all? The one we just talked about not too long ago. We talked about the 3 areas to buy, and now I'm in this fully. I've actually invested in this project now. And I told everybody where I would do it on the back test. I actually invested in this on the back test. So the person in the audience who recommended this a couple days ago, and we drew this out so we would know where to buy it, this is part of the Internet of Things. And if you're in the chat right now, please make yourself known. We drew this out together. I showed exactly where I would buy it if it got rejected and came back down to the back test. And even if it was bearish, that's where I wanted to buy it, and I did. I did. And I have no shame in it. And I'm going to go to my HOTCOIN to tell everybody exactly how many I bought. Because I don't even remember. It was like 3 a.m. I honestly don't know. Because I was like half asleep when I seen it hit that. And I'm like, ooh, that's the back test. If it kills me, it kills me. But as long as I'm standing and breathing, I'm going to take the shot here. Because it's in my area. It's in my area. And like for me, people say it doesn't work, technical analysis, but what did we mark out for not just this one? You know where we're going next? You know where we're going to go next together? XDC. You guys remember the buy zone where XDC was? Do you realize everybody could be in XDC now? We mapped this out together. We mapped this out together. So IOST. I want to see exactly how many I have. So I ended up buying, where's IOST? It looks like I decided to buy over 100,000 last night. That can't be right. Oh, maybe it is. What do I know? I think I did. That's okay. I like it. It was the price, though. I wasn't going to buy that much until the price hit. It was the price. I can't help it. I can't. There's something about where it hit that gave me confidence. It's only because we talked about that area, too. But, yeah, there's 100. What did I buy? It's not a crazy amount for the price. I think it was like $700 and maybe $700 I put in at the time. I bought, yeah, 110,783.79. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. But that's one that I like to have exposure like that. So because of how cheap it is, instead of being on the 10,000 philosophy, it's 100,000. You know, that's just the way I do things. But that bounced perfectly where I wanted it to. Now, if it breaks down and breaks below, I'll just continue buying it because it's part of the IoT. I bought 100,000 IOST. Michael, me too. 110,000 overnight. Excellent. See, some of you were paying attention to this. And XDC, I also bought some XDC. I talked about how yesterday I bought like 10% waiting for that drop down. Look where it hit. You can't make this stuff up. We talked about the buy areas right here. It was the exact buy area. Now we don't have to guess though, see? Because it came down to the actual uptrend. This is what is making me very excited about some of this. Not only did we not break down, we're actually validating these uptrends on some of these. So XDC, I said, you know, I know it listed on HOTCOIN But if it was me, I said I would buy somewhere. You could look at 6.9 and then see if it holds the uptrend. And now it did. So anywhere from 6.9 to 6.3, you could buy it. You could have bought it. Understanding that if it breaks down here, it's just like we talked yesterday. If XDC breaks this barrier, you would end up having a 30% sale. Now, if you bought it at 6.5 cents, you could easily average it out in the middle at 5 cents if you bought 30% more on the way down. So just something to be aware of what's happening. And, you know, but be overly cautious here because we still have a weekly reversal that looks awful, you know, and in totality. So you have to pay attention to the optics as well. But that's what's going on. So when a lot of people see no opportunity, I see very much opportunity. And then dragon pattern has not been invalidated either. The dragon pattern is still available. It's widened itself up because we never made a new low. So that dragon pattern, it had to invalidate at $1.98 to break the head. I mean the tail. It hasn't invalidated. And the fact that XRP now, and am I crazy, guys? Am I crazy? Did XRP form a pennant? I just want to know. This is a perfect strategy to have a continuation by having such a large dump off. DGB did dip as well. DGB absolutely dipped, and I can tell you, I was busy on DGB. Let me go to my crypto.com. I was busy. So as crazy as it sounds, and let me go back because I had 630. I actually added some DGB as it came lower. So when you look at DGB, I have, and it's not because I thought the cycle was ending. And when I show you where DGB went, you guys will say, oh, you know, that's not so crazy, Tom. That's not so crazy to buy it, just a tiny bit more. Because it went to an area where, you know, it hamstrung you. You like DGB, and let's face it, let me show you guys. DGB came all the way down under 1 cent. I told you, if it came back under 1 cent, I was eating. And I did. I bought a little bit more. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I might be pushing. I might have 700,000 DGB now. But that's what's up because I told you if it came down into certain areas, I would just keep buying DGB. And I almost feel like DGB now, because it's so undervalued, might just be my go-to on accumulation here going forward. Yes, I know there's a lot of other ones that I could. But until this finally bounces out, I know what DGB's potential is. And I know how much it's being hamstrung right now. This is craziness. It's crazy. It's lunacy. At this point, it's lunacy that it's doing this. That pattern is still not invalidated. That big I mean, there's a lot going on there. I told you, if it came down under a penny again, I was buying more, and I did. So, that's my hope anyways. I must. Oh, yeah, allowing the price to rise with it and all this. Yeah, you're not, I don't think you're off with that. It's just, I want to go back real quick. I got to see when I said this. It was a couple weeks ago. And I said about the manipulation we were going to see to start the week. And there was a reason why. I don't know where it's at. I'll have to look. I'll have to look before. Again, so I don't waste too much time. Oh, I think it was after Brad Garlinghouse 60 Minutes thing, now that I think about it. Ah, whatever, it's fine. Dun, 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 dun. Ah, whatever. I can't find it. I know it was in there somewhere because we talked about how manipulation was going to... There was no way we were going to be able to deny the manipulation in crypto. If it's a pennant flag, what's our target? Happiness. Abundance. Abundance of wealth will be our target. I mean, we've already made an abundance of vault on this rally, but I'm just saying, if this were to play out, you're going to all-time highs, my friend. This could be the pennant flag that lead us to all-time highs. Dragon pattern not invalidated. Some might think it is. I talked about it yesterday, how they can sway down and bounce up as long as it doesn't hold or it doesn't lose $1.88 or $1.86, we're fine. And we didn't. And they are doing it blatantly because they know that all these people who got shook out can do now is watch and cry. You sure? You're damn right about that, unfortunately. You are damn right about that. The other thing that's taking place right now is watch this. This is remarkable how quick this happens. So the crypto fear and for the record, nobody should be sending donations today. No donations, no Tom's Army. You should just be watching because this is the time where your portfolio can be significantly afflicted, whether good or bad. So this is the time you shouldn't be worrying about your wallet to try to donate to me. This is the time where you should be sitting there saying, I know he appreciates this stuff, but today's not the day. I don't want to see people spending their hard-earned money when we're getting slaughtered, period. If you decide to join Tom's Army on a day like this, power to be, but I'd rather us just watch this. I'd rather us just watch this today and try to figure out what the hell is going on for real, if I'm being honest. Some people have asked me about ways to donate. Not today. This isn't the day. Crypto Fear and Greed Index. I'm a very understanding person, and like, if I tell you that it's not the right day to donate, you should take that with a grain of salt. 74 is the Fear and Greed Index right now. It bounced up slightly because for a moment, I thought I seen it at 68. Oh, yeah, with Christmas right around the corner. Exactly. Exactly, Nick. It's not just crypto. And look, everything is being slaughtered. Besides, what did I talk about? B2 gold and gold and silver. We talked yesterday about the fact that there's two areas we could buy this. One, where was this at? When it tested this, it didn't even, see, it's in the middle. Ooh, wait a minute. Am I missing something because I've been watching crypto so much? I think I am. I think I missed the consolidatory pattern here. Oh, shit. I'm going to have to pay attention to this. Like, seriously, pay attention. Did it start an uptrend right here? Maybe. Unless it has to come down a little. Man, this might have made an uptrend. If that's where it pulled up. See, I've been so focused on crypto, I wasn't even paying attention to this like I was supposed to. I know silver made an extraordinary drop yesterday. But we took out these lows. That's the, like, this is something, I think. Hold on. That's something. I don't think that's nothing. I mean, I sold out at $2.82. I was really looking for one slightly farther push. Remember we said 234, possibly testing this, or down to 197. But if it started an uptrend, we got to be careful. I mean, even if we don't go by the wicks, we could say, hey, right here. I don't know, man. Something. I think I got to take some serious consideration here. It dropped off even from where it's at right now. Oh, that's not even where I sold it. It dropped off from the sale point. And we've been in this so many times, buy and sell up and down, left and right. But every single time I sold it with 3,500 tokens. And I sold out just over $10,000 for anybody who's wondering. Well, it was a little more than 3,500, but it was right around, actually it was just below 10,000, I think. Right now it's down 10.73%. That's crazy. Ringo Star, wow. Thank you so much for joining Tom's Army today. That is unexpected. As I just said, I didn't think anybody was. Okay, thank you so much for that. Unbelievable. You've just made me the happiest person in the world today. That is unbelievable. Thank you so much for that. Wow. And I know it's your first month because that's the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Guys, please, yes or no? Hell, maybe an easier way. There's 98 likes right now. You can either write yes or no or hit the like button if you think this is going to go up from here. If you think I should buy B2 Gold now, hit yes or hit that like button. Oh, we're going to look at XRP Healthcare Gatman, I promise. Bitcoin broke the lower trend line. Yeah, but is it a wick or was it a candle close? Some are saying yeah, some are saying wait for it to break. No, Ambro says. This is what I want to see. I want to see what my audience says. Wait for green. Sometimes you got to front run it, my friends. Sometimes you got to front run it. See that big reversal candle? It all depends. See how the 4-hourly and 3-hourly almost perfectly shaken out. I would like to see the 200-day a little bit higher over the top still. Could get a rejection at 261. And if this is just a consolidation, just to drop down to the bottom of the descending wedge, because it did have a fake out, big topping reversal, but it came back to the uptrend. But I could be overanalyzing because couldn't I just say, hey, I just forced that to go down to the uptrend and it should look like that? Absolutely. So I would say I'm going to look to see if it gets rejected at 267 or comes below 230 or comes down to 234 like I first thought. And then I'll probably see if it comes down to 191. Not that I don't want to buy it, but I've still got to be honest with myself that there is a topping reversal there that technically didn't come all the way back down to where it started. That's why I thought 234 would be a perfect area. Blockchain Riz, holy crap. Thank you so much for joining Tom's Army in your first month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. Everyone in the audience should, I say it all the time, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't listen to what I'm saying. Like, obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I say it 100 times and I'll say it 100 more times. You've got to make your own educated and informed decision. This is discussion. Whether I'm a financial advisor or not, though, the charts are the charts, my friend. The charts are the charts. Hand. I wouldn't trust a financial advisor as far as I could fucking throw them. I tell my dad all the time, I can't believe you still have a financial advisor when I've made all this money for myself and I go against the actual market grain. And you should too. Like any idiot could tell you to buy to tell you to buy Apple and Google, the FANG stocks, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Alphabet. I mean, anybody could tell you to buy that junk. And that's all in a bubble, so I don't want to buy the bubble. I'd rather be around. Yes, we all advise each other. That's right. That's right. I'd buy half, and if it continues down, then buy the other half. Part out the buys to get lower average. If you're wrong. Oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at right now. Do I do some part like that? You know, with
Do you know what this is from? I found that in a teaser.
That looks like from that fake controller we bought him.
It didn't have a sticker on
Oh, I don't
it.
know.
I never gave it.
No, I know you didn't, but I'm saying it kind of looks like that. Yes, consult a financial advisor and do the opposite. I can support that comment. So now if we're looking at B2 Gold, I need to know if gold had a big reversal. We've talked about a few areas where it could. And the fact it broke the rising channel, we know the ultimate, if it decides to go a complete bearish, is around 23.95. But that doesn't mean it has to come all the way down there. Like oftentimes when I do analysis, I'll look at the old resistance tugs. And I know everybody's excited about XRP, which is precisely why I'm doing this. Because I want to let XRP do its job real quick without us forcing it somewhere. See, this is where it gets me. See that resistance going up? Now gold is back testing the resistance. That almost tells me, hey, you got to put some kind of exposure here, numbnuts. Like, this is exposure. And even if you're wrong, you just got to have exposure. So, And yeah, it's not, it barely bounced. It's up 10 cents. Barely 10 cents. We've got earnings. That's in February, but we've got, let's see, B2 Gold down 11.5%, blah, blah, blah. Do it yourself, roll towards solid things. And if something says a lot, DGB has been around forever. Solid cryptocurrency, real crypto. Absolutely. Absolutely. DGB, I think, is phenomenal. There's no doubt about that. I can't even hide that. You've been doubling your XRP every day on it. Let's see. I'm going to go back to XRP now. I'm just trying to do a little bit of advanced scouting on this real quick while it has my attention. Because right now, this has been an overzealous dump off. I say it all the time. 5 minute. And I know it's early, but the 5 minute is starting to have has a bullish cross or a golden cross here, possibly lining up. Would be the first golden cross on the entirety of this drop. Let's just put it that way. We have not formed a golden cross the entire drop. Technically, golden cross in the short term, if this is how it's supposed to hold, would be a lagging indicator. So some say this is leg one of a 3-leg correction. But if that's the case, that would invalidate an ABC correction that should have already actually completed, possibly. I don't know. I hear all these different things and all these different, ways of looking at it. Bounce from the end. If your last video to this one, I picked up more. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Not a bad idea. So, I mean, that's the overt thing that I see this morning. I know we've been talking 32 minutes, but that is the gist of what I'm seeing with XRP. So, it's still in a massive bull flag. Yes, indeed. Well, I mean, I'm looking at it as a pennant flag right now just because of how it dropped and did what it needed to do. It really does show me signs of a pennant flag here. I mean, downtrend or lower highs and higher lows simultaneously. Algo. I mean, again, Algo, it's just like when I talked yesterday. If you guys are of the opinion, like you're watching here, Algo's at 32 cents. I understand because it broke that uptrend that you got to get back over. That's the problem here. All of these broke the uptrend, so we've got to do some work now. A lot of these cryptocurrencies now have to do some serious work to avoid a further drop. Okay, but most of them have formed, like XRP, formed a pennant flag. Some of these have formed falling channels. Some of these are forming like little wedges. Like none of these are bearish technical consolidations. These are technically, if they play out like this, these are technically bullish, but still. Oh, we looked at the Bitcoin liquidation map. We can look at it again. I looked at it at the beginning of this live. We can definitely look at it again. So if you look at it in the weekly, you've got massive liquidations that are piling up here at 108,000. 108,400. You start getting 384 million, and every 50 bucks you got 366, 352, 342, 339. Look how big this liquidation zone is. There's several $1 billion if you get above 108,500. It is what it is. It just is what it is. And if you go below us, there isn't diddly squat right below us. Look how little of liquidations there are down here. That's what I'm saying. You got to go towards the liquidity spikes. There's nothing down here that would even excite. Maybe, oh no, it came right up to it. But there's not a lot in the immediate areas here. Even if it goes to 88. Look how little, at 88,900, there's only 98,000 of liquidity. Because everybody's going short right now. They think it's over. This would be a perfect time for the market makers to go bullish. I know, Gatman, you see how low the liquidation is there? Look how there's barely anything to pick up there on Bitcoin. Even if Bitcoin went sub 89,000, there's $98,000 of liquidation. That's nothing. If you ask me, this is usually what happens to wipe out liquidity for a further push up. But, you know, if it isn't a corrective, if it reversed and went into a three-wave corrective wave, if some are saying, then you have to pay attention to that. But, like, I also see higher liquidity down here. A lot of liquidity down here. You got... What's going on? Oh, is he okay?
Yeah.
Oh. 256 million at 103,600. There's a lot of money to be liquidated on the way back up. Make no mistake about it. A lot. So if you're a short trader, you better hope to God. No, don't hope to God. That's not the way you hope to God. Remember, don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on this beautiful Friday morning where we got several inches of snow outside. So this is not just a facade because it is actually snowing outside. Kind of feels like a massive, well, somebody just said it, bear trap. Biggest bear trap ever. It doesn't, I mean, to me, none of this feels bearish in the way it should. It does not feel bearish in the way it should. Generally, when I would see a dump off like this, I'd say, oh, man, this is not good. But now I'm starting to look around and pennant flags, falling channels, falling wedges are all formed across the board. It's crazy how much this is reversed. And now it should, if it's still bullish, bounce off the 200-day. Look, we created the pennant flag right at the 200. Like, you can't make this stuff up. I actually very much like the way this is consolidated. I very much like the way this consolidated. We're 45 days after the election push. We still got to, absolutely. We did every bull cycle from December and the first week of January. We sure did. This is part of the standard operating procedure. HBAR still looks good. I missed the Best Buy spot while sleeping. We talked about HBAR in the beginning of this too. HBAR put in a big reversal here at 23.3 cents. It's actually, and the reason I have it set up like this, and I'll explain it for everybody who's newer. This is resistance, right? Rejection, resistance, rejected, resistance, rejected initially, then it broke out. Now it came back down and now it tapped this resistance as support. That's what you want to see, and it came down to the 200-day. So this is what you'd want to see. But HBAR, because the government's involvement and how much they are supposedly buying, don't overlook it. We bought this at 4.8 cents in the community. So we knew what we were looking at. Way down here. You know, we knew what we were talking about. We knew what we were talking about. But now it's a lot of people. Here's the problem. Everybody for the last 2 weeks when XRP was at 250, 270, 290. Tom, should I buy? No. No. Because if you weren't willing to buy it at 52 cents or 38 cents or 35 or 70, why would you buy it now? Because of FOMO. And FOMO only leads one direction, down. It does. Because right now, if you're in at 35 cents or anywhere near within a 25, 30% radius of where I bought, or 100% radius, it doesn't even matter at that point. You're still under 70 cents. You've still got, look at, when we're sitting here, this is the, and let this be a huge lesson, like not just for me, for everybody. And yeah, HBAR is fine. If you're looking to buy HBAR, if you didn't buy it on the bottom, I mean, you're pretty, you gotta take a leap of faith. XLM's in that falling channel, hit the uptrend perfectly. But here's the problem, and I hope going forward we never have to talk about this again of us going back down to 35 cents. But look at, here's the problem, folks. If you bought it where we bought at 35 cents, are you seeing this? When I say you're in control of your destiny, it's not because you're not in control of your destiny. If you would have bought $3,500 worth there, it's worth over $22,000. So like, you don't get the tops, you won't buy the very bottom, but what you want to do is make sure you sell out on a shoulder, on the right shoulder if it's there. It's not showing me a right shoulder yet. Unless this comes down, invalidates, and I've said this before. Oh my God, we'd have to, if you sold it at $1.80, right? You're up 400%. I can't think of a single person that goes broke by making 400% on trades. Sure, you gave back 300%, but you're looking for a pattern to play out. You're never going to know until you do. I've made this example many times. In 2021, you guys call me the chart guru or wizard or whatever. I didn't sell at $1.98. I didn't sell at $1.85 for a 6% loss. I didn't even sell at $1.77 for 10.6 when I got validation of a right shoulder. Why? Because I had FOMO. I sold right here at $1.66, $1.67, 16% off the top. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when I have a 47-cent average, and this is, I'm going to continue to drive this home. We had a 47% average in 21. To sell it at $1.66, we were up 250%. If I would have just sold it at $1.98 because I'm a genius, you know, and I just knew it was never going to, I could have made an extra 72%. But was I mad turning what I did from 45 cents or 47 cents to here? No. But I also didn't have to sit through the $1.98 down like some people did. I didn't have to sit through it. So I didn't have to worry about selling. Just like now, if I want to wholesale, which I don't, or any of you, if you want to, that's the point. Should you buy or not? Like I've said from the beginning, you have to make that decision. Everybody who's asked me if they should buy now, I simply ask the question, why didn't you buy it at 45 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents for 2 years while it was sitting there? But ask me if you should buy now. You could buy the illusion of a pennant flag if it plays out, and then you know you're going up to 359 if that plays out. So yeah, you could absolutely buy now. But again, buying at $2.22, why didn't we buy it under $2 when it was 30 cents cheaper? Just, you know, these are all logical questions to ask. That was a 15% saving from right now. Obviously, if it breaks out from here, you're looking at about 60%. That's $1.32. Right? And I'll continue to point this out. From where we bought it, that's a 59% move for somebody. That's almost 400% for us. You do the math. Does this look bearish to you? Or is this a massive shakeout? I can't answer that as of right now. But it's in a pennant flag, and my best common sense would say this has a 77% chance breaking out and going to tug all-time highs. So, some people are saying Trump announced yesterday he was going to buy XRP. I didn't see any verified thing on that. That's why you haven't heard me say one word about that. So, normally when everybody's talking about a story and I don't talk about it, that means I haven't been able to validate it. 100% of the time, that's what it means. So that's why a lot of times you'll see on some of the higher impulse wave channels, I call them, because they get a lot more views. For XRP, they'll be talking about something and people will come in here and be like, Tom, everybody's talking about this. Why aren't you? Because it's bullshit. That's all. DAG, I love DAG. If I could buy it right now, I would. But it's not on any of my exchanges. And look, we circled this area too, that if it had to come back down and correct, it would come and retest this breakout area. That's where we circled it. And then if it had to come down farther, we'd have to come down here. But you don't want to come down here because that, in a sense, is, you don't want to come down there. You just don't want to come down there. You don't. Then you've overcorrected. Then every single bullish scenario that I can paint in my own head is gone. And I don't want that. This doesn't look bearish to me right now, though. Like, I understand the omniance, and if we break this pennant flag, we can reevaluate that. It's very bearish, and we go down to 99 cents probably. And then if you sell and buy more, right? If you sell it here at $2.23, and then you buy it back at $1.90, yes, you'll have some monetary savings. But now you've just hindered yourself into a tax of $23,000 on 10,000 shares, you know, $20,000 in profit. And yeah, it's cumulative. It's going to keep adding over the top every time you sell. So if I sell out here for 20 and then the next time I sell for 2,000, it's just going to compound. But if I sell it now in December 20th and then I buy it all back, I don't know how many of you in my audience could sell out $3,500 worth for $23,000 and then buy it all back and have the tax burden to pay that $20,000 in taxes, whether you're in a 10% bracket, 15%, 25%. You're looking at a 25% bracket on $20,000 in profit. And I've done this for 3 years now. You're looking at somewhere around $5,000. So now, are you going to take out $5,000 to pay the taxes and then buy XRP, or are you just buying it all back? Because a lot of people do that, and then in the tax season, they have to sell in the midst of rallies because now they got to sell some of their holdings to pay the unrealized tax gain or the realized tax gains. So that's one of the objectives here to, hey, if you just hold another 2 weeks, even if you sell it in January, that doesn't hit you until 25 instead of the 24 tax season. You know, that's an omniant you have to worry about and understand when it comes to big business. You think it's any coincidence I woke up overnight and XRP was down 10% and it ate it all up roughly, or 15% it was down and it ate it all up? No, this is not a coincidence. This is called market manipulation. Anybody who listens to the message I preach, you are so far ahead. You went from 3 digits to 4 and 4 to 5. It's that simple. I know it because I went from 4 to 5 to 5 to 6 in the time I've done this show, just in crypto. I've had people that sent me, I was at 5 digits watching you, Tom. Now I'm at 7. That's the biggest compliment. Somebody turning in from a 5-figure into a millionaire, skip the 6-figure altogether. No. You're not done with tax harvesting until the 31st in crypto. No offense to anybody, but it's not the same as the stock market. Stock market would end. You don't have very many trading days after Christmas into the new year. B says the XRP ride gets old. What do you mean? Can I just say something honest, and don't take this as an offense? How is it old? If anything, it's invigorating as fuck. For 2 years, we had the accumulation phase. No matter if you had $1 in the bank or $1 million in the bank, you had 2 years to accumulate 50 cents or more, and there was many times to do it over and over and over. Sub 40 cents, you had many times to do it over and over. 3 or 4 separate times in a 2-year period. And now we're sitting at 223 and XRP is getting old. This is the problem with the investors of today and of yesteryear, of every year. Well, XRP went up from $3,500 in my portfolio to $22,000, but what has it done for me lately? It lost me $7,000. Terrible way to look at it. Terrible way to look at it. ULSD and you're looking, that's what I'm doing. Oh, that's one we've talked about in the not so distant past. I see, where is it at? Who said this? INR. That's interesting. You're gonna put in the that's a play for sure. Exactly, Block. Not realized until sold. That's the biggest thing. And like I always tell you guys, I use BITUNIX and HOTCOIN without a VPN and KYC. So if I want to do trading, it's not linked to my tax returns. It's not a tax hit, so to say, unless you verify. If you verify, that's why I send all of my profits to a verified account. So when I have to pay taxes on profits, I know exactly how much it is. I send it to crypto.com, or I send it to Cash App, or I send it to Venmo, because you can send even in Bitcoin to Cash App and Venmo. Hell, you can send Ethereum, Litecoin, and all those other crappy ones too. But it's a way to get it out of crypto if you don't want to verify farther on certain exchanges. Oh yeah, that is a big problem, Mr. Pesci. Huge problem. Because it all has a cycle. Like, I've never been less nervous in my life holding an asset at this value. Because I told myself a long time ago, I'm going to buy it when it's at the lowest of lows. The lowest it gives us, within a range of margin, and then we're going to go from there. And to me, it doesn't look bad. $2.22 has been staring me in the face this entire 10-minute conversation. That's a sign of the angels watching above us. It's a sign of we're on the right path. Yeah, obviously, you got to be a religious being to understand what I'm seeing or what I'm saying. But there's a reason why the message is, don't forget to give thanks for the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. When more than one of us speak the word of God, when more than one speak the word of God, God proclaims himself within all of us. He becomes present. Like, that is so very true to me. It's so very true to me. Where is this? And then some of you have even said Yeshua. You know, we can talk. That's my symbol. But anyhow, no matter how you look at it, you pay the tax, man. Jeffrey, didn't you just hear my reasoning why it's not all apples to apples, my friend? If you sell XRP, like I said, at $2.20 and you bought it back at $1.90, you've got to pay taxes on that sale from where you initially bought. Just because you bought it back doesn't mean anything. Now you've made yourself liable for a tax hit in the next tax season that's just coming. Yeah, hopefully by the time 2025 taxes come, Trump comes through on the no tax for American crypto, but you can only hope so. And the thing with that is if that happens, that would confirm to me the Bitcoin reserve. I think by Jerome Powell saying we can't do a Bitcoin reserve, it confirmed it. Think about it. He confirmed it. Look how many people sold out. Do you know how much Bitcoin was down earlier this morning? For everybody who doesn't think manipulation is real, and Bitcoin's back on top of the 200-day now, by the way. Look at this. In a matter of, what, 6 hours? Bitcoin's reversed almost $5,600 right now. Think about it. Yeah, I mean, you can't make this shit up. Even if you tried. And now, like, I could argue, and we talked about this before, if you want to take all of this away, now that we're outside of this inverse area, we argued this before. What if, well, I mean, it's crazy to think it, but now we actually got more validation of this little observation that we made a couple days, or well, a couple weeks ago, actually. And I remember when I drew this out and I said, please don't let this happen. Well, not that I didn't want it to, but I knew it would be more pain. But we actually drew out, what if we were like in some kind of, and it's weird because you have to do it from right here. But watch if we take this away. We've talked about this. Not exactly the most desirable scenario initially. You know, it could be something within the consolidation, but now we came all the way down here, so you could actually expand it and see exactly what it is now. Like, we don't know what is going on with Bitcoin because we've never seen this before. We don't know. But as long as we're on the bottom side of this resistance here at 100,787, to me, that's the bottom side of that channel that was formed. And now this actually looks really good because it still has the channel intact, but it also forms kind of like a wedge up here. Expanding wedge at that. They sure do, Devin. They absolutely do. Oh, this is across the board, folks. I told you, when I woke up, most of this was down 14, 15% in the early AM. And I feasted on some. I feasted on AMP. Holy crap, AMP has reversed that much. Now, that's craziness. Sometimes it makes me excited to look at the reversal. Because I know what I bought it at when I woke up at 4 a.m. That is an absolute remarkable move. That's over $300 just in that time when I woke. That's crazy. IOST is ripping right now from where it actually dropped down. It's like all of this. Every single thing you could have looked at and said, hey, there was an opportunity here. There's a big opportunity, man. Most people run. This is where I'm like, oh my God. What just happened? Excellent observation, Familian. It looks almost identical, to be honest. I've seen a video on his trades that his son is looking into buying XRP. Is that... Oh, manipulation is absolutely real. YouTube is flooded with people that I never saw before saying sell XRP, worthless manipulation is... Oh, absolutely. Do you know how many people have said to sell XRP in the last 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours? It's the same people who told you to buy it on the top. are telling you to sell it on a massive consolidation. But yeah, that's why I always set my alarm. I've told my audience this before. I always have an alarm set between 3:30 and 4 o'clock just to look at the market on Eastern Standard Time. I do it every day. I sleep on my couch until my house is asleep. I'll fall asleep on my couch at like 12, set my alarm for 3:30, and then I'll go in the bedroom with Julie and finish my night's sleep for a couple hours. I do it on purpose every single day. I've been doing it this has been going on over a year now since I realized that correlation. 11 p.m. is usually where they drop the market, get it exactly where they want to buy it for the overnight session. It starts there, or they pump it up involuntarily at first. They sell it out, and then they'll buy it back at 4 a.m. It's crazy. But with everything being said, folks, you know, you got a lot to pay attention to. I'm gonna have to get going here. It's still the AM. I plan on being back here at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as usual. The last 2 days was slightly different times because our 5th grader, my stepdaughter, had a choir concert 2 days ago on Wednesday, and then yesterday my 17-year-old stepdaughter had a orchestra concert, and she's a senior, so she's running out of concerts. You bought it at 4 a.m. was better at 6 a.m. Hey, not everything's going to be the exact bottom at 4 a.m. I'm just saying that's a spot that I look at. I'm not staying up for 2 hours, though, to see the exact bottom. I got to get sleep. But yeah, nobody says it's the exact bottom at 4 a.m. Hell, you might have got a better deal at 7 a.m. on some days, or 4 a.m. I get it. I know what you're saying. That's the same with me. I could have bought it at, and I'm only saying that not to mock you because it happened to me. I bought something at 4 a.m. and it ended up going down. And I could have saved like 3 or 4% even more. So I understand what you're saying, believe me. But I'm not going to kill myself because it's reversed up like 13% from there. XRP Healthcare still sitting here. The cool thing about this is it actually came to that support. We talked about this yesterday too, because if we were going to have a breakdown, we got to be honest with ourselves of where it could go. But now we've actually we can open it up fully. Actually, you know what? We could do that, but I think it would make more sense to do it on the consolidation. Resistance. Are we saying that corrected enough? I mean, you got a wide pattern, so even if this is bearish, the next hit on resistance should be somewhere around 25 cents if it plays true. So, but I mean, all of these have these descending consolidations. I don't know, man. It's interesting with all of these. XRP Healthcare is just another one. It's got this uptrend that it's on the backside of at this current time. And if it can get back on top of it, it breaks back into bullish territory. So, but it reworks this entire setting. If this breaks out now, holy smokes. You know, so it's going to be interesting. But everybody, happy Friday. I got to go. I got to go do the morning routine. I appreciate every single one of you that stood in here today and watched. We'll be back tonight at 6 p.m. I'll probably do a short sometime today as well in a couple hours or so. But I know we're going to be doing the live tonight at 6 p.m., so it's not the last time we're going to meet today. If you're looking to trade crypto, BITUNIX, if you're looking for the no KYC and VPN, that's on BITUNIX and HOTCOIN. BITUNIX, I have my AMP on right now. I think that's all I hold on BITUNIX. Besides, like, the 1x of, what was it? Ethereum Classic that I put up there so we wouldn't copy trade anymore. And just kept it in spot for all eternity until it does what it needs to do. But on HotCoin, I have IOTA, VELO, XDC, and IOST. And then on crypto.com, I've got a slew. Just a ton of them. I've got my crypto debit card that you can put up to $25,000 on there. So it's basically a prepaid debit card. Well, no, it is a prepaid debit card with crypto. So you're paying with crypto profits, or you can send Tether. I usually just send Tether over there and then just immediately send it into topping it up when I have profits. You can donate PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, but as I said before, I don't want them today. We'll wait until we reverse. I do thank the 2 members of Tom's Army, which was completely unexpected and completely unreal, and thank you so much for that, the 2 of you. But we'll have much more information to go through this afternoon. Much more. We'll be able to see if it consolidates farther. And before I leave, just if it has to consolidate more, you don't want to break this pattern. You break this pattern, it's not good. Right now, it looks very good in the 4-hourly, but we do need to get past this bearish cross at $2.33. get on top of 233 looking a lot smoother, and it shouldn't have any objection to $2.64. After we get to 264, if it goes that route, we have to reevaluate. So have a blessed day, everybody, and thank you so much for